Hello, very unfortunate audience. My name is Olaterrio. Welcome back to the late party, where we're always late to the party. Now, god damn it, I think my laundry is done. I'll actually be right back. I finally figured out what the next art video is going to be, and it's an art redesign video. Now, for this video, I want to change as little as possible, so I don't want to, like, massively change the characters or anything. I just want to change the designs up to be more animator friendly, so we're not going to do anything crazy. And of course, when it comes to designs that can be changed, and of course the best example is obviously Vivzy Pop. Now, oh my god, I can't speak today. Dog. This episode, we're gonna go over the main cast of Hazbin Hotel, because of course we are, and we're gonna go over them. And we're gonna see what we can change and what does not need to be changed. So for the first character, we're just gonna start with the basic. My god, why do these always come so massive? I'm not gonna bump up the resolution for this video. I refuse to go beyond the monitor resolution. Out of all, like, you'll see later what I mean by that, by the way. But this character design, it's pretty simple. It has some complexity with the hair and whatnot. That could probably be simplified, but that's more of a hair redesign than anything. What I'm focusing on is colors and details. And for the most part, this is pretty fine. There's nothing that really needs to be changed here. This doesn't actually need to be changed. Everything else around this, though, I think we need to change. I'm going to start with the designs I think need the least amount of work to work. Right, the least amount of changes to be usable, and this one is the one that I think requires little to no change whatsoever to work. Like, it works fine as it is. But one that I do think can be changed a little bit is you know what? Fuck it, fine. Wow. For this character design, I actually also think that for the most part, this character design is actually genuinely just fine. I did prefer her the pilot outfit because it was more white and it stood out a lot more in contrast with the background and everything. But if you're going for like the whole she works at the hotel and she has a uniform thing, this genuinely works fine. I can't see the argument for changing some of the designs, some of the bits up. Like, for example, let me I could see the argument for getting rid of the red in the color palette and going for something like a cooler blue. Again, I'm not going to Photoshop this shit. You're not getting like a clean product here. This is a shitty video for YouTube. I can see the argument for getting rid of the red entirely, and honestly, I think this actually looks pretty nice. And it also helps, again, stand out against the background, which is mostly red, which makes sense. It makes sense for the daughter of hell to be wearing a lot of red. But for a former, spoilers by the way, but for a former angel, doesn't make a lot of sense. I accidentally obliterated some of the character details. We'll bring them back real quick. I accidentally obliterated a Japanese division unit. Hold on. Hold on, I need to make another one real quick. But so far, one character I don't think needs to change at all for it to be fine. Another, you can argue about like the designs themselves needing to be more variety. I'm more focused on the colors themselves and like the details themselves. I'm not much of a body person. The most I know about anatomy is where the body organs are supposed to go and where things are and aren't supposed to bend. I'll leave all the anatomy changes to someone else. We're just going off their color and details here. But so far we have one character who needs little to no changes for the design to work. Another character who I think just needs a color change, and that's about it. And now we're gonna go for a third character who I think also needs a color change. And this is another one that I don't think needs a lot to work. And this one's Nifty. God damn it. Now, as a design, I can't stress this enough that it's just fine. It's simple enough and it works well enough to where I don't think, again, that it needs a massive amount of changes to work. I will say though, the whole thing about the colors, the main problem with this design and a lot of the other ones is that they use the same 5 colors over and over and over again. And you know, I think a quick solution for this one is to simply take a highlight color and change the color of her dress to highlight her hair, because so far the color they chose here, it only appears here, the eyes and the teeth, and that's it. They don't use anything else with it. And it could very easily, like, if we just grab these, we could, wow, that's the wrong brush. We could just very quickly change the dress to this color, and maybe that balances it out. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that doesn't work very well, does it? Maybe something more yellowish. I don't know. The problem here is that they don't give me a lot to work with. There's only 3 colors, which is a good number. That's the number you want to aim for. It's like 3 or 4 colors for a character design. Anything else can be shades and whatnot. But, for some reason, I don't know why. I get it makes sense because different shades, but this is not what I meant by, like, having different shades of the same color. Her hair color and the splotch colors are a different color, and so are her cheek colors. It's all the same color, but why is that there would be little to no difference and turning these the same color? Like, you can't even tell it's changed. I came up to 2 solutions with this. Now, like, I know that this is supposed to be based off a Japanese made. I don't know anything about Japan. All I know is that there's a symbol for the word no, and it is written thusly. All I know is that this means no. My idea is that just to bring more color into it, because you already have the streak there anyways, and everyone else, again, everything is the color red in this series. I fucked up the coloring here. There's not really a lot to work with. What you could do is either you can turn the highlight into the main color by having it be part of the dress, and that helps pop out a lot, or you can just change the hair to be blonde. I mean, I know other characters have blonde hair, but again, anything that helps you stand out from the background or differentiate the characters from one another is very important in a show. You want the characters to be, you want the people to be able to tell which character they're looking at. I'll let you decide which one you think is better. If you have a third option you think is better, go ahead and tell me in the comments below. But this is the 2 options, again, I came up with real quick here, because I am on a time limit. My laundry is being done. Let me pick the next character who I think does not need a lot of changes done to them to work. Sir Pentious, who I think has a better design than a lot of the other characters, simply because he, first of all, the shape stands out more. He relies the least on the color red out of the main cast. I'm saying, wow, yeah, okay, he's like the only motherfucker who has like little to no red. He has red, but like he's mostly yellow and black. That's just kind of saddening. Again, one of the biggest things you can do is change colors, because the more colors you have, the longer it takes to do something. The less colors you have, the quicker it can be. Is that supposed to be his hands? Why are his hands that color? But if we change these to be the same orange as other parts of his body, then that just simplifies the equation. And I know it makes it more monochromatic, but you're not really giving me much of a choice here. There's not a lot of different colors going on. There's also the problem with the striped vest. All the characters have striped vests. I don't even think striped vests were that common during the Victorian era, where this guy, I think, he's supposed to be. Striped vests, I feel like, are something you see more in the early modern era, like 1940s and whatnot. I don't think you see striped vests in the 1800s. I think you just see mostly plain black vests, so it makes no sense for him to have it. Actually, let me see if I can do some reconstruction here. So here we have a massive change. Already, I think this character is a lot easier to work with. You now only have around 3 colors: orange, gray, black, and yellow. That's 4 colors. Again, the less colors you can have in a character, the better, because the less you have to work with. Even I miss stuff, boys. Even I miss stuff. I don't know why my computer is dying right now. I guess Hazbin Hotel fries your PC. Again, we're not touching on, like, redesigning the characters, like, entirely. Like, we're not changing clothes or anything. I'm mostly, again, focusing on just the color and details. And, these are things that you can do pretty easily, honestly, because changing a color palette is simple. Not that I think Sir Pentious will get a new color palette. I mean, he's in heaven now, and that completely changes color palette to just white, which, I think is more boring of a color palette, but that's besides the point. Is that when it comes to just a simple redesign that you can do, like, in a snap of a finger, this is pretty much it. Not even modern day politicians wear stripes. Unless you work at the carnival, you do not need stripes. You do not need fucking stripes unless you work at a carnival or in the 1960s in a detective's office. You don't need stripes. So far we have 3 characters done. Well, I say done. Charlie didn't change at all. I don't think she needs to change. I feel like it makes sense for the main character to have red in her color palette. I know it's wrong for that to be the case because then it doesn't stand out against everything else, but it makes sense. It makes a weird amount of sense. Unless you want to change it, like invert the color so that it's red where the whites are and white where the reds are. Honestly, I feel like if you're trying to go for the whole approachable, you can trust us thing, I don't think a suit and bow tie, I don't think this design works in terms of approachability. This looks like a businessman. She looks like if she's gonna knock on my door and sell me such a one, which I guess she is, because that's what she does, but it's besides the point. So now, next up, for characters who I think should be... My god, we only have the difficult ones left. God damn it. Fuck it. I know how to do this one, I think, so we're going to Angel. God, fucking damn it. Kill me now. What is wrong with this character? What isn't wrong with it? A little bit too much going on here. Once again, why is there a bow tie? You ever see a sex worker come out with a fucking bow tie? Time to undress me in my 6-piece suit. What the fuck? There is a lot of potential here. I will not deny that. We just have to do a lot of recoloring. First of all, I'm just going to annihilate this fuck-ass stripe. We don't need stripes here. If he was wearing a sweater, I would allow it. But he's not wearing a sweater, so I will not allow it. Enough with these fucking striped suits. We're not playing golf. Unless you're planning to beat your wife over the head with a golf club and then get acquitted from your trial because your glove don't fit, you don't need stripes! Second of all, what is this? Why are his arms different? No, fuck that, nuke that. Boom! If it was up to me, you wouldn't be wearing gloves. Why are you wearing gloves? My name is Elias Truman. I got word that we're nuking Japan tonight. Hey, yo, who wanna watch this? hey, yo, who wanna watch this nuking Japan moment? I'm for real lonely, low-key. Low-key kinda lonely, for real, for real. Would be willing to watch someone nuke Japan. If the idea was to help separate which arms are being used, I mean, that's a fine idea, but it's not really necessary. No other character with multiple arms does that. Got rid of those colors. Already, this is a lot simpler to work with, but we're gonna go even further because I'm not quite done. As I said before, the number of colors you want to aim for is once again 3 to 4. If you can get away with not having more or less colors, you do that. Anything to help it. I don't think that was the right choice. I think I just might make his eyes black. Well, he can't because the other one's, well, fuck me. I'll come back to it. Another thing I'm gonna get rid of is this spot up here. You don't want a lot of spots. You want to keep the number of stripes and spots to a minimum because those are held to animate, and if you put too many, you're going to inevitably forget where they are. And we don't want that. We want to remember where our stuff is. So we're not going to do that. So far, I'm just simplifying the color palette. If it were up to me, this would have been a different color. I hate the fact that he has a bow tie, but we can do that, and that helps. Actually, you know what? This looks more like casual lingerie-esque. This outfit now looks a lot more casual than it did before. Yeah, I don't think there's a reason why the color should be different eyes. Okay, olaterrio, don't fucking English today. Why the eyes need to be different colors? They both work as black. And I don't understand why there's so many spots everywhere. So we just got rid of those. The 3 under the eyes are more than prominent enough. Like, first of all, this face right here, the contrast between the yellows and the black, they're already going to pull your attention to the eyes, and you want the attention in the eyes. You don't want the attention on the hair or anywhere else, because the eyes are where the face are, and the face is where most of the character is. You want attention where the character's features are most prominent or most important, and that's where you want it. And since we're focusing on the face here, and since the face is the most interesting thing to look at, other than, well, I'm not going to say it, but you're already going to see those dots. Those are the only dots you need there, because they're the only dots that the viewer is going to realistically see or notice most of the time. So you don't need any of the spots up here or the stripes down here. They just draw attention away from what should be, honestly, a pretty simple character design. The characters already have the color palette in them that they need. It's just that for some reason, VivziePop adds in that fuck-ass red everywhere. Which one are we gonna go to next? The last two are Husk and Alastor. I don't like any of these characters. I'm gonna go for Husk. He seems like he could be easier to do than Alastor, just because of the pure fact he has a lot more colors to him. This guy is a fucking nightmare. Look at him. Look at him. This is a nightmare. How does anyone... Oh my god. First things first, get those fucking stripes out of here. She animates too. I don't get it. You animate. You know how annoying it is to draw characters with a million fucking details. Why? Why, VivziePop? Already, if I could only change one thing about this character design, if that was it, look how much easier and nicer this design looks. It's so simple. Is that I understand he's supposed to be a dealer and he's supposed to do poker and whatnot, but we're not going to have these fucking fuck-ass random heart details on the ears. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that because you're gonna forget to draw them and you're gonna forget to animate them. You already have it in the face. You have the heart details in the face. That's more than enough. Look, she gets it. VivziePop gets it. This character has like yellow eyes. She gets it. She gets it. I would have liked this character to have different colored eyes than yellow so that they'd be different, but I can't think of another color. We'll maybe pink or whatever. Like, if you have the details up there, then we can save animator time, but getting rid of the details down here. And I know, fingerless gloves, crime against humanity. He should be punished and damned to all eternity in hell. I understand why he's in hell with those fucking fingerless gloves. But, this already, way simpler. Wait a minute. I pressed the wrong button. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. Why are there buttons in a character who doesn't wear a shirt? Why are you randomly adding details like this? I understand this character was designed by a kid. Okay, you're using the design now. You have a responsibility to make it presentable, Vivzie. Let me have this bow tie color change at the very least. It mixes in too well with this fucking wings. You're already using the wing color. Honestly, if I was gonna go for someone whose main thing was greed, I would have made his character design prominently green. I would have given him green pants and green wings and everything, but we're working with the colors Vivzie supplied us with. I don't know, I still feel like there's too much. I've gotten rid of fucking everything and it still feels like there's too much that this can get rid of. This is more, this is an unnecessary detail. Nobody's looking at the ears, Vivzie. Like, for example, okay, the main place where everyone's going to look in your character design is here. If something is important for the character, it should be up here. The rest is like the clothing and everything. It would be around here, and maybe the shoes. Nobody's going to be looking at the ears of a character unless those ears are very animated. And if they're very animated, just save the person time. Don't add random. You don't need a lot of details for the ears to work. Also, if we're gonna go with the idea that these two characters are doing the same thing or in the same area, I guess we can change the eyes of Angel Dust to be pink so that his can be yellow. So that they just don't have the same colored eyes. They could also be white, I guess. You guys tell me down below which color it should be if you're changing it. White, pink, yellow. Because, I can't decide. There's still too much here. I got rid of so much. I changed so many colors. I simplified it so heavily, and there's still too much. Alright, be honest. How dog shit would this color scheme be? Just think about it. We could make a leprechaun. we could make a leprechaun if we do this. Think about it. How fucking funny this would be. Yeah, I'll be honest. I got nothing. Oh god. Well, that leaves us with only one left. The man, the myth, the legend himself. Alastor. I don't know what I'm going to change, but I can promise you that you're not going to have these fucking stripes! Lord help me! I was watching Markiplier play FNAF 2 again, And I instinctively pressed forward in the stream to get it to speed up. Olaterrio the type of motherfucker to wait to stop at a stop sign, waiting for it to say go. So one thing I'm doing is, you have the color white here. White, these should be white. Cuffs are white. For undershirts and everything, it's white. All right. This would have been already. This would have brought a lot more color in here. That just sort of looks kind of natural to me. Another thing is that I can't really tell where the fingers begin and end. There's too much red. Too much. The undershirt, I feel like the undershirt should just be white. I know it's hell, he's scary and everything, but it's just good fashion. If he values fashion that much, this is good fashion. White is a good undershirt color. I don't know what to tell you. I'm also not understanding why we're shading or having like darker colors for the arms here. I don't understand if it's for shading, but it's clearly not, because they're out in the open and it's still a different color. Why are these different colors? I don't... Like, there would be no difference if this was the same color as that. Like, the only ones that need to be shaded are, like, ones in dark spots. I don't know. Like, it makes sense here. It does not make sense here. I don't know why we're doing it here. So already, this gets rid of a lot of the different colors that are for some reason here. Are those supposed to be cuffs in his boots? What is going on here? Is he wearing pants that are also shoes, or are those supposed to be cuffs? Because without any color difference, it just looks like he's wearing pants that are also boots. I'm a little bit confused here. If you're going to use the color black, because this character has the color black, it would make sense for the shoes to be the color black. Actually, now that I'm looking at this again, I don't think I want this weird cross here either. I don't think he's religious. He's not a Christian, I don't... Well, everyone here is in hell. That's besides the point, Olaterrio. I think it's a little bit late for religion like that, Olaterrio. Shut up! Starry Flowers was a mistake. Lord, forgive me. I don't know why he has fingerless gloves. I don't know why. Regardless, a man from this era would not be wearing fingerless gloves. Just wouldn't. My only other want is to balance out the colors a little bit. Just my eternal quest to remove as much red as possible. Oh, okay. Wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. Why is this showing up so dark? What the fuck? What's going on here? Whoa! Why is Windows Photo Viewer fucking with me like this? What the hell? Why is he coming out like that? I mean, if you wanted him to look like a demon, what the fuck is going on? I guess if you can give him gloves, I guess, like black gloves, it just doesn't make sense for it to be fingerless gloves of any kind, especially for the area he's supposed to leave in. Like, these kind of gloves, those are kind of they're blending in now because I haven't bothered to fucking say whatever. So like, it's fine if he has like regular gloves, but they need to be regular gloves. It doesn't make sense for it to be anything else. So again, I've tried to simplify as much as possible. There's not really much I can do here. It doesn't make sense for this part to be white. No suit I've ever seen does that. I feel like I'm removing a lot of stuff right now, but it's just because a lot of the stuff that they put in here don't make any sense. I feel like Alastor, this is why I saved this one to last, because this is just the hardest one to work with. I'm not quite sure what to do here. Actually, that's a lie. There is something we can do to fix the hair. Hold up, I've got a solution. I call it the final solution. Check this shit out. We're just going to pretend that the hair is a different color. Because why is all the hair pink in this series? That does not work. I think that is just the most amount of changes I can make. Like, here I struggle the most with this specific character, because there's not a lot I'm being given. The biggest problems with this character that can be solved without changing the design entirely are just the stripes. The unnecessary stripes. I don't know why there were so many stripes, but I just got rid of all the stripes from every character, everywhere. Every character has lost the stripes. You don't need that many fucking stripes. And I'm not opposed to have the characters having details or whatever, but just, you gotta make the details work with the colors you have, and not make them so unnecessary that they just shouldn't be there. Like, I'm looking back on this now. Why does Vaggie have white shoes? But okay, because I'm done with Alastor. I can't figure out how else to fix that design. There's no colors I can bring. Like, I'm trying to not bring in just completely new colors. I'm trying to use the colors that are already in the design so that there's the minimal amount of effort required if they, hypothetically, anyone were to take these up. Hypothetically, this is like the minimum amount of work needed, the least amount of work needed to just make these designs changes. So the last thing I did is just change her colors down there so that they're not white. I don't know why they were white to begin with. It would make sense, like, for example, if this was white or some other color that like stood out, like maybe yellow or something. Well, okay, it's because her hair is too light. It'd have to be a darker color, like red. Like, it would make sense if it was like that. That would make sense because, again, you want the viewer's attention up here. You do not want them down here. Having random bright colors away from where the character is supposed to be emoting everything just distracts. But now I'm seeing changes everywhere. Oh my god. I understand if you're going for a specific kind of boot or whatever, but if you're not going for anything particularly fancy and the shoes aren't a main focus, you could just do that. I think that's the only design change that Charlie actually needs. Well, no, I'm not. I'm going too far again. I'm doing too much. Y'all gotta tell me if I'm doing too much or doing too little or not doing enough. Because I don't know. So I will consider this to be the designs that I came up with. This is the best I could do, alright? I'm not a fucking genius. I know I like to shit on VivziePup a lot. It's just a joke, mates. I don't actually care. But in terms of character designs, this is the best I could do or think of in the moment, at the very least. Maybe if I did it off screen, I could come up with some fucking crazy banger shit. But in the moment, in terms of like immediately what changes I think of making when I see the characters, these are the ones I make. So for Charlie, the only thing that needs to change are the shoes. There's no reason there should be white down there. Just this, and that's about it. That's it. For Vaggie, God, I forgot her name. It's just changed the color palette to be purplish blue. Like, it's a nice contrast against everything else, I think. It keeps the same overall design and everything, and it's not white. So, I guess that's, I don't know. for line, Nifty. This one is honestly the hardest one. There's not a lot of colors I can pull from with the Nifty design. There's only like 3. And all of them are the 3 colors that you already see a lot in the show, so there wasn't a lot I could pull from to change this, but my idea is to either change the dress color or the hair color. Like, one of them has got to change, I think, and that's about it. Other than like standardizing the red color so they're just not weird. Like, I don't know why there's 2-3 different red colors in the same image, but other than that, I think that's about all you need. In terms of lines or Pentious, orange. Alastor, I think, has the biggest changes, but just because I needed to change his eye color so that it worked. The same thing goes for Husk too. This is 90% the same shit. I just got rid of a lot of the symbols that didn't need to be there. Oh my god. If I was going for a complete redesign, the wings would be gone. And for Alastor, the lines are gone. The millions of stripes, they're gone. The only change I'd probably make is to just change the hair color to be the same color as the suit color. I don't know why there's so many different kinds of reds around here. I mean, you can barely tell that the colors changed at all, so why have the color changed to begin with? The only other thing I'd think of doing is changing the eye color, but there's already too many characters with black eyes or whatever, so I guess this is fine. And that's about it. I can't think of any other changes. Let me know if you guys thought of any other changes. Out of all of them, again, I still think that the main character's fine. I think the one that absolutely has it the worst is Angel Dust and Alastor. Those 2 character designs are just my fucking god. Thank you all so much for watching. Tell me if I cooked or if I froze. What's the opposite of cooked? In this stupid new generation with their dumbass words, what's the opposite? I don't know. I'm asking a lot of questions today. I must be stupid. Fuck me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.